Hello there, YouTube. This is my fourth video of my DVD collection. Hope you enjoy it, and here we go. First DVD today is called Black Sheep, and it's a comedy, and it starred the late great Chris Farley, David Spade, and Tim Matheson. And this is about of course, Chris Farley plays a kind of like a guy that likes to fool around a lot, like a guy that likes to play jokes. And his brother, who is played by Tim Matheson, he's running for governor, and um, so Tim Matheson he tries to keep Chris Farley out of the picture as much as possible. So he hires David Spade to take Chris Farley somewhere so he won't ruin his chances of becoming governor. And so turns out there's a lot of funny escapades and different adventures that Chris Farley and David Spade get into, and it's has a lot of fun funny scenes in the movie too, and also I would really recommend you checking this movie out. It's called Black Sheep. This next DVD is called Borat, and it stars Sacha Baron Cohen, and this is I believe the most popular character that he did on the Ali G show, and this is a full-fledged movie based on that character, and he goes around America and he interviews people, and it's just a really funny movie, and just to see what people's reactions are to like the ridiculous things that come out of Borat's mouth, and um, has a lot of well-known cameos from different well-known actors and actresses, and I think it's his 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 funniest movie out of all of his characters that Sacha Baron Cohen does. So I definitely recommend this movie. Also, it's very entertaining and funny also. So it's called Borat. This next movie is called The Cable Guy, and it stars Jim Carrey and Matthew Broderick, and it's a comedy. Also, it's more of like a dark comedy. Um, it's directed by Ben Stiller, and Jim Carrey plays a person that's he makes up so many different characters that he is, or he never tells his true name, and he basically I think his name is Chip Douglas, and that was a character on a very famous TV show that he used to watch as a kid. So every single show that he watched as a kid and all the different things that he saw on TV, he he thought that he was that character. So there's really something wrong with him, and he becomes obsessed with becoming friends with Matthew Broderick, and there's a lot of funny things that happen in the movie, and it's definitely a classic Jim Carrey comedy, and a lot of funny things happen. So I definitely recommend you checking this comedy out too. It's definitely worth viewing. The Cable Guy. This next movie is called Dan in Real Life, and it's also a comedy. It stars Steve Carell, and he plays a single father of three children, and so his parents tell him that they do everything. He does everything for his kids, but he doesn't really do a lot for himself. So he's in a bookstore one day and he falls in love with a woman. She's a French actress. Her name is I believe Juliette Binoche, and so he asks her out, and um, he then finds out that his brother, played by Dane Cook, he's actually going out with her, also. So he tries to keep it a secret from him, and through the whole movie, and a lot of funny things happen in the movie. Some parts are very sad in it, and it's definitely a good role for Steve Carell. Um, he's definitely funny in this movie. So the movie's called Dane in Real Life. This next DVD is called Death at a Funeral, and this is the original Death at a Funeral. It's a British comedy. Um, it's directed by Frank Oz, and um, it's basically about a man whose father has died, and they brought together family and friends for the funeral, and almost everything goes wrong. He finds out a secret about his father from a man played by Peter Dinklage, who's also in the original, and so basically anything that can go bad at a funeral does in this movie, and it's played very well by all the characters in this movie, and it's very funny. Um, I think this is the best. I think the original, which is this movie, The Death at a Funeral. I think this is the better of the two by a long shot, and so I definitely recommend watching both versions of Death at a Funeral. But I definitely recommend watching this one first, and so I definitely recommend checking this one out. It's called Death at a Funeral. This next DVD is called Deconstructing Harry, and this is another comedy written and directed by Woody Allen. And this stars, of course, Woody Allen, Robin Williams, Elizabeth Shue, Billy Crystal, Demi Moore. It stars a lot of well-known actors and actresses. And it's basically about Woody Allen plays a novelist and actually more of a writer, and he he somehow takes all the characters in his book and they become real people in his life, or of his imagination actually. And there's a lot of funny things that happen, of course, and um, Woody Allen is his usual negative and um, complaining self, and has a lot of funny things in the movie, and I definitely recommend Deconstructing Harry. This next DVD is a two-pack, and it comes with the original Dumb and Dumber and also Dumb and Dumberer. The original Dumb and Dumber stars Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, and I think the original was definitely the funniest of the two, and I think that Jim Carrey. This is one of the earlier movies that Jim Carrey was in as a comedy, and I think this really made him what the comedy star he is today. And also, I think Jeff Daniels did a very good job as a comedic actor in this movie. Has a lot of funny scenes in it, and I definitely recommend that one. But as for Dumb and Dumberer, it's supposed to be about when the two characters met when they first met when they were in high school, and that's as far as I'm gonna go with that because it's really not something that I would recommend. But I mean, I got it anyway because it came with the 2 packs, so might as well have both movies. But um, Dumb and Dumber is definitely the movie you should check out out of the two. So Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumberer, and the second one is definitely not worth checking out. This next DVD is another movie with Steve Carell. It's called Evan Almighty, and it's a sequel to Bruce Almighty, which starred Jim Carrey. And this one also has Morgan Freeman in it, and it stars Steve Carell and Morgan Freeman. And Steve Carell plays a congressman. He was a news reporter in the first movie, but he becomes a congressman in Washington D.C. And Morgan Freeman comes into the movie. He still plays God, and he basically tells him that there's going to be a huge storm coming, and of course Steve Carell doesn't believe him at first, but he actually becomes Noah of Noah's Ark, and I mean it's not the greatest plot in the world, but I mean it still has Steve Carell in it, so there is some good comedy scenes in it. So I mean it's not the greatest comedy, but I mean I would say I I just think it's okay. It's called Evan Almighty. This next DVD is called Fiddler on the Roof, and it's based on the original musical on the stage, and it stars Topol as Tevye the Milkman, and has a lot of good musical numbers in this story. And if you've never heard of Fiddler on the Roof, it's basically in Russia, and I believe like the 1870s, and it's about a very poor village, and it's a family who's led by Tevye the Milkman, who's played by Topol, and it's basically has a lot of good musical scenes in it, and it's actually a pretty good story too, and I recommend it if you like movies that are based on musicals, and so the movie is called Fiddler on the Roof. This next movie is called The First Wives Club, and it's a comedy starring Bette Midler, Goldie Hawn, and Diane Keaton. And this movie is based on a book, and it's about 3 women that all their husbands are getting divorces from them, and they're losing a lot of money, and they're not getting much money from it, and the husbands are like they feel that their husbands are getting off scotch-free, so they devise a plan to get back at their husbands, and it has some definitely good funny scenes in the movie, and I mean it's not the greatest comedy in the world, but I think it's all right. The movie is called The First Wives Club. Okay, that's all the DVDs I'm going to show you for today, and I definitely look forward to your feedback on this video, and as always, comment and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.